Hi everyone, welcome to Steve's Long Stay Lab. This is where radios come to get sucker and be repaired if they are in a bad way. This one maybe isn't, but it's here anyway. It came from America. It's an RCA radio. Model number is 9X651. Now, American sets of this kind work on the American 5 standard. That's a 5-valve radio. Some are 4 valves, some are 6. This is a 6-valve radio, and it's a 6-valve radio because this particular set has a local distance switch and an extra valve for using areas where signal is not so strong. They did that in the States a lot more than they did over here. Lots of American sets did this, and also sets this country made to go abroad done in the same sort of way. This one is VHF. This one is medium wave only, and it's I'm told it does work actually. So first thing we'll do with this, I think, is find out. I do that because I like to know where we'd be beginning with the set before I go any further with it. So first thing I do, every set, switch it on and see what it does. Always in this case, always put my hand on the switch just in case it starts to do anything dangerous. But chances are, in most cases, these sets, they do come on and do something. That's something approaching and working. But these sets, like the British AC/DC sets, have a problem at the risk of electrocution, which is of course common then. But then of course people knew about electricity more than they do now. The kids today, they don't understand that, you know, you don't put a hand inside a working radio. But in this day they knew, today they don't. So we have to be aware of that. With these sets, therefore, the valves are in series, and the XT comes off the mains as well. And one end of the main cord goes to chassis. That end must always be neutral. Always be neutral. If it's live, then the set is dangerous. Days gone by, it doesn't matter. People knew. But no, there wasn't a risk of a risk then like there is now, because people knew, and there was not a risk of dying as a result. And also in those days, people wouldn't sue quite the same way as they do now. But anyway, with that aside, British or American sets of this kind all work in the same sort of a way. Like I said, let's have a look and let's see if it works or not, shall we? That's the first thing. Now, another thing with sets of this nature, by the way, American sets run 110 or 120 volts. Britain is 230 or 240 volts. So you need a step-down transformer. Something like this. This is a step-down transformer for American sets, and we plug this radio into it like that, switch on, and wait and see what it does. It won't come straight away because it's a valve set that they have to warm up. There we are.
Well, they could call
so listen.
Mourinho Stadium, that'll definitely go then.
I think what you got there is you got a chain reaction. What about Real Madrid? What's the best?
If this works, he said it's about avoiding a hard border and the north. So,
From?
I'm from Lincoln, mate. Used to.
You've got heavy traffic.
There's no Australian twang, mate. That's just my natural.
So it works. But of course, because a set does appear to work, doesn't mean that it won't have problems in the future. There are certain things with every set that need to be replaced and checked. So we'll do that. We'll start now. First of all, turn it back off. With the thing unplugged, of course. There we go. And we'll have a look inside and see what needs taking off and sorting, and what doesn't. Now with these sets, by the way, they work extremely well. American sets are very sensitive on AM, but they don't have long wave over there. So generally speaking, American sets, there are some that do, but most American sets don't have long wave. So that's something got to be aware of. Now, also with these sets, these sets, the valve bases do vary as well. This is about the time when we're changing from octal to 7 or 9 pin, and so this set will have a problem with that as well. So look inside it. There we go. Have a look inside. There we are. There we are. Have a look inside that, and you see that it's got 6 valves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hence, it's called an American 6. And that on the back there, that's the aerial, and this is the chassis here. Now, the bulb does come on. There's no rat's nest in this one. Choice angle, but there's not. And it looks in reasonable shape. Well, no, it's a valve change in the past. That's that one there. That's a military valve. That military valves were screened, of course, as well. But apart from that, it looks to be okay. One speaker, some after it, and apart from that, it's not too bad. Let's get inside and let's take a look on what it's as to what needs doing to it. Probably not a lot actually, but we'll have a look anyway. With the set apart on the bench like so, the case is behind me for going for cleaning. What you do, get the circuit, get the radio, and do nothing. Put your meter down and look. Think of the valves, look at where they are, find out what's what, where the mains goes in, and find it where things are on the circuit. Don't ever dive in with anything. This is not vintage radio. Look first. And the first few minutes getting associated with the set. There's certain things which you want to find. And our switch is here. Mains is here, comes in here. One end goes to the rectifier valve, one end goes to the switch and the chassis. I'm afraid on this set that is actually going to switch in, which is in neutral, so yes, exactly. But I never like this yet. I might do something with that, I might not. But rectifier, output valve, detector, and all the rest in here. It's a 6 valve set, as we said. The other thing to look for is the smoothers, which is big on the front here, which goes onto 2 points on the output valve. Any problem, it can cause hum, and might need to change that actually. And also another thing to look for, the capacitor that goes between the grid of the pentole stage, which is in this case a 35 L6 GT, to the anode of the detector AF valve, which is 12 SQ7. This valve should allow AC but no DC through to the output valve, which is a pentode. If it does, the pentode will be turned on hard. It damages the pentode, and also it can damage the output transformer as well, which by the way is here on this set. Okay, always check with resistor. Lots of people have different views about resistors and what to change and what not to change. But whatever your views are on this, I change what needs to be changed, nothing else. Other people change a lot. Always change that capacitor, or at least check it before you do anything else. Even if the set sounds alright, always check that. If it's okay, you can leave it, I suppose. But any sign of it being troublesome, change it now, because a pound worth of a capacitor is a lot easier to replace than a valve and an output transformer. Think of it from that point of view. Go back and forth to rectifier stage, amplify stages, rectifier stage, and back to the 6B E6, which is an octode on these. So that's the circuit in a nutshell. And with American sets, these all work in the same kind of a way, every single one. British sets too in a way. But another thing to notice with the American sets is that the circuit diagrams are laid out slightly differently. On English sets, across the top of the circuit, you see the HT. On the American set, it's underneath. Okay, so look out for that. Also, some European sets are the same. And also, as well as that, make sure that it does go to chassis as well. Otherwise, the set may work, but not terribly well, maybe, and of course, it is even more of a hazard. So always check that as well. So with that in mind, switch on, making sure there's nothing in the way, like so, and wait, and wait, and wait. And wait. And now it's not coming on. Never mind, these things happen. So let's have a look at why it's not coming on, shall we? Sorry, it is coming on, there you are.
All the weekends on missile and football fixtures. It's fresh. It's Friday. It's an
Now, when you're doing a radio on camera, by the way, always check the station you're on, because YouTube these days are beggars for copyright. They really are.
Friday afternoon.
So, although you probably used to having music in the workshop, on camera, it is best
Imagine
not
driving
to.
a Peugeot SUV this winter. Feature packed
Right.
from touchscreen with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to parking sensors and 16-inch alloys. Now imagine paying from just $229 a month and $229 initial rental. A dream, right? Wrong. The Peugeot 2008 SUV signature.
Right.
Drive big, pay little, sleep easy. Peugeot Motor Company PLC, a credit broker not a lender, will introduce you to PSA Finance UK Limited. Personal finance.
By the way, thank you to Graham for the meter, by the way, much appreciated. Anyway, coming down here, and we're looking for a resistor which goes from 1 to 0, and it's 0.02 on this, so we'll look for it. Hmm. 0.41 DC. That will probably be okay, because of course the meter itself shows a bit more than that, so that will probably be okay on this.
Now, I've picked Blackpool against Rotherham, right? Now, for so many reasons.
We'll do that.
He said, you know what, I'm just thinking about the here and now, and all you can do when trading that many hours a week, you're dedicating your whole life to it, and obviously her main focus now.
Actually, looking at this, I'm not sure whether this is a local distance switch or a switch to allow a gram to be put in the back there. But I won't with this because of the way it's wired. Things have changed a lot since those days.
To break the most heartbreaking of news.
Welcome to a special edition.
Yeah, definitely, I think.
Blackpool. It's good. Especially if you got the right time of the year. Yeah. Well, you got the wrong time of the year. I've been...
Oh yeah, it's always worth putting the nods back on the unit, because you easy to turn. And if there is anything which could give you a shock, plastic won't. So it's always worth doing.
They're there for Christmas. So I'm saying you go down for Christmas. It's nice. Anyway, I think all football fans want Blackpool to do well. They've only lost twice this season. Be great for Grace. Be great for Blackpool. They deserve it, this club. I'd like no disrespect to Rotherham. I've no allegiance to either club. No dogs in these fights.
I have a little bit with Rotherham.
Yeah, okay.
The allegiance.
Well, I've got none.
Used to pay me £27.50 a week.
Okay. Money well spent or not? Not really. Didn't get a
Well, that seems to be all right. That seems to be okay. So I'll look round and make sure that there's nothing really could be a problem, and if there isn't, well, I'll go ahead and clean the thing and put it together again. Right, here is a working American radio. Works in Britain on an adapter unit, and also with these, another thing to mention is that the rectifier on these has an extra break in the heater for a bulb as well. These use the rectifier as a fuse, so watch out for that. Anyway, see you next time. Bye bye.
Rob Dream, England goalkeeper, who's back in the Five Live studio. Let me just run you through the teams before we get underway.